Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm sitting on the floor doing my makeup. I used to do this when I lived with my dad, and I've been trying to find my love of makeup again, which may sound stupid to some people, but truly I have lost what was like so lovely and such a form of like therapy to me. And my therapist is always telling me to try to find things that make me happy, and it just feels like in the world we live in right now, it's hard to do that. The Supreme Court just announced some really awful rulings in the US, and it just like solidifies for me that like the government does not work for us anymore, especially if you're not a cis straight white man. I just wanted to sit down here on the floor because I thought maybe it would bring me back to my roots. That sounds stupid, but like I felt really grounded. I already feel more grounded doing makeup, so I just thought I'd do it on here today, do a Chatty Get Ready with me, and then like make this all into like a little YouTube video. I was looking back at old videos on my channel. I was really trying to like find my love again yesterday night. I have like screenshots of old looks I did that I want to redo because I thought they were really interesting. And I also used to do this thing where I would take one palette and do it a look 3 different ways using the same palette. So I'm going to use the Ace Beauty Nostalgia palette. I just used this the other day on my eyes. I did a like purple and red look, and today I really feel like I'm going to dive into this shade here because I wanted something that looks really different, and I feel like the only like really different color on here, unfortunately, like a lot of these colors are very bright and very like warm toned, so I feel like this is the one that stands out to me the most, so I thought I'd use that today. And I feel like I'm going to do an exaggerated something over here. That's the vibe. So we're just gonna start, and yeah, I don't know, we're just gonna start. So I'm gonna start with the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. I've had this product for so long and I really still have not even used all of it. And I'm also gonna take my little mirror. I got this like 2 years ago. This is GRWM. And I'm gonna prep my face with this. I did just wash my face, and usually I put on a whole bunch of skincare. But I'm gonna be honest, the air outside is like unsafe from the wildfires in Canada, so I'm not gonna leave my house today. So I thought I don't need to put on like all of that plus this because I'm not going outside when the air quality is not safe. So this is so moisturizing that it kind of doubles as both. It is like skincare and also a primer. Also, ignore this behind me. I wanted to film on the floor, but the only place I can film has my door stopper. So we're just gonna have a door stopper behind us. It kind of looks like a little watchful eye. I don't know. So I'm going to start with the Fenty Ease Drop Blurring Skin Tint in the shade 2. When I got this, I had ordered it off of like their friends and family sale, and I didn't know what shade I was going to be, and I ordered shade 2, and I was a little... Shade 2 was a little dark when I ordered it, but I have been like walking a lot this summer because I love being outside and I love walking. Give me a walkable city and I will find happiness. So it has been closer to my skin tone. I won't say it's completely because it's a little... I would say pink for me. What I like about the foundation is it does sheer out, so I just sheared it out off camera, and it fits my skin tone pretty well when it's sheared out. So I can wear it now. It's really nice. For concealer, I'm going to go in with a favorite. I have 2 favorites. It's this one and the Clinique concealer, but this is the Nude Sticks Nude Fix concealer. I'm in the shade Nude 1. I'm just going to a little bit on my chin, a little bit on these problem zit areas, a little bit over here, and on my nose just to brighten. And because my nose is always a little bit darker than the rest of my face because it's like the most protruding, so it gets the most sun. What I love most about this concealer is it feels self-setting. I know for a while everybody was saying it was like, oh, my concealer is self-setting, my concealer is self-setting. This one is actually self-setting. I find that like I really don't need to set this with any powder for it to look phenomenal under the eyes. And sometimes I even actually forget to set my face when I'm wearing it because of it. So for that reason, it is top 2 favorite concealers that I've ever tried. So I'm just going to take this mini Hourglass Veil Translucent Setting Powder, and I'm going to take a little bit on the cap, take a random little Royal and Langnickel brush, and I'm just going to set exactly where I put the concealer. So my chin, my forehead, my nose definitely because it protrudes the most. It also unfortunately loses the most like foundation throughout the day. I'm gonna set underneath the eyes a little bit and also the lids just to prep for the eyeshadow we'll be doing in a little bit. I used to always do powder products, and then I moved to like only doing cream products, and now I'm back in powder product land. I don't know if it's because I'm like starting to find this love again, and I wanted to start at the beginning, which was powders. But I actually did pull my favorite affordable bronzer I used to use all the time. This is the e.l.f. Primer Infused. It says blush, but it's a bronzer in Forever Sunkissed. It's like the perfect blush. I'm going to use this giant Wet n Wild X Peanuts collab brush. I love a nice like ball brush like this. I'm gonna load it up with powder, and then I'm just going to like put the bronzer on my face, but I'm not going to swipe, I'm going to just press. And because it has this like big ball look to it, it diffuses the product really nicely and it doesn't look too intense. And I love this product because it's not super pigmented off the bat. When I'm using a bronzer, I would rather build up my bronzer intensity than have to like use it sparingly and like ruin the bronzer. I think bronzer is a very specific and particular thing. People sometimes like a lot of bronzer, some people don't like a lot. So I like having one that I can build up to my desired bronziness. And then I'm going to take a little bit of it and just kind of put it on the sides of my nose. Because when you bronze everywhere, especially your nose. And I don't contour my nose. Okay. I'm pretty sure this bronzer is like $6. For blush, I'm going to go in with a Persona Cosmetics blush. This is in the shade Bubble. It looks really, this looks really like scary. When you first look at it, you're like, oh, that's a blush, right? But I promise it's really not as scary when you put it on the face. I'm going to take it on a Wet n Wild Peanuts brush, this little angled brush, and I'm going to lightly start to pat this into my face as well. It reminds me of the viral Dior blush that was like $40 fucking for a blush. It might have been more than that, it's Dior. And I like to take a little bit and build it because, as you can see, it is a beautiful complementary blush. And it doesn't come off like this on the cheeks, you know what I mean? It looks like you have a nice little blush. Yeah, and it just looks like, you know, I'm blushing. For highlighter, the only highlighter, literally the only powder highlighter I own is the Nabla Skin Glazing in the shade Ozone. I'm going to take that on a brush like this because that's all I brought with me. And this stuff is really intense, you can see it. But it's intense, but if I look straight on, you don't see it. You only, like, it's the perfect kind of subtlety to a highlighter where it's like nice and stunning when you like pop, but when you look straight on, you don't see it. I'm gonna take a little bit on my nose because I used to love a nose highlight and I stopped for whatever reason. And then a little bit on my cupid's bow. I'm going to set this all with some MAC Fix Plus. I am a believer now in MAC Fix Plus. I think the reason I went to cream products is because I was so tired of buying setting spray. But I've been using this setting spray for a while now and I'm like, oh, that's really good. So now we're going to go into the eyeshadow portion of the video. So I'm going to start with the shade Theme Park, which is this beautiful turquoisey shade. And I did get a bunch of little, I'm going to take a little like liner brush with this. I'm going to take it at the corner of my eye and drag it down. I had this vision of like a really elongated, I don't know, I was sitting on the toilet thinking about this. I was talking to my friend and she mentioned that what she used to love about watching like my videos and like my content is that I just didn't care and I just did whatever felt like I wanted to do. So I'm really trying to take a page out of that book and be like, yeah, this is super fucking weird and I'm gonna do it anyway. I think like, you know, I've made it a point to not care about the engagement, PR, or like brand deals or anything like that. But I think inevitably you do start to care. Because I've had this page since like 2017 and I just didn't feel like I was growing, and then I started to grow. And I was like, I have to do exactly what they want me to do. I have to grow. You know, I got on a PR list and I also got taken off a PR list. It was a weird thing. I just wanted to, you know, I think I'm gonna like also like wing this up real high. Yeah, you could always put your pinky down for stability, which is what I'm gonna do. I also love doing things with eyeshadow because I feel like you can mess up more. I'm gonna take the next shade, which is Popsicle. This creamsicle shade. Tap off a lot of it. And I'm gonna put that right here in the crease, and I'm gonna build it up just in this little area right here. Okay, I'm gonna take another little brush. It's a little bigger. I want to use this yellow as well, just because I love yellow eyeshadows. And I'm gonna drag it on the bottom, on the lower lash line. I don't know, I'm letting intrusive thoughts win now. And then I want to stick a little bit of the red, I think, right in the center of this orange. I feel like the look I'm going for is Serpent. I'm gonna go back in with that Popsicle shade. Just kind of buff out the red so it's a little softer. That red was the shade Camping. And then there is this little gold shade called Fun in the palette. I'm gonna take that on my finger and press that just in the center of the lid here. I don't love the shimmers in Ace Beauty palettes. They're usually not super pigmented, but I guess it's working out for me here. I was listening to this screenwriting podcast, and they basically said like the key to writing every day or to doing something creative every day is to let your unconscious take control and shove your conscious mind to the side for a little bit, because your conscious mind is the one that judges you. It's the one that says, this is gross, I don't like this isn't perfect. And while that's important for like edits, specifically like in writing, it's not conducive to creativity, because then you're censoring yourself before you're able to just do something. I really truly don't know where this came from, this look. I really truly came down with a different vision, but I actually really enjoyed just like having fun and like letting my unconscious take over, what they call like your intrusive thoughts, just like do it. So the last two things I have to do are lips and eyelashes. So recently I've been doing this eyelash duo that I've really been enjoying. I think it makes my lashes look absolutely insane. So I've been using the Lancome Silhouette Booster XL. I forgot I had this. At one point I was all into like mascara primers, and I bought like a bunch, and then I forgot about them. And then when I was looking through my drawers the other day, I was like, oh my god, I should use this before it goes bad. And now I remember why I loved it so much. So I'm just gonna coat my top lashes with this, not my bottom lashes. And I really pay attention to like my little lashes in my inner corner there. And I'm gonna let that dry. So while I let this dry, I'm gonna go on to lips. I pulled today the ColourPop Lippy Pencil in the shade Boys Town. I wanted something nude, and it is pretty much like my lips but a little darker, so it's perfect. Okay, and then I'm gonna top it with, I don't know if this is still a shade. I don't throw away my makeup when I'm supposed to. I guess that's something I learned from my mom. Like, they're expired, like, salad dressings, she'd be like, it's still good. I'm like, it's expired. She'd be like, it's still good. I feel that way about my makeup. This is in the shade Stark Naked from Urban Decay. I hope they brought this shade back, because I lived, breathed, died this shade for so long. And it's still good. It's like a comfort matte. Yeah, it's a comfort matte finish. It is stunning. And then for lashes, the like the second half of my concoction is the Wander Beauty Upgraded Lashes Mascara. Now, I'm going to say this is great on its own. I really enjoy Wander Beauty's mascaras in general, and I tried this on its own first and I was really impressed by it, but then I put it with the primer and I was like, whole nother level of shit. This wand is really great. I do love a wand that is more plasticky like this. And it has like a bump in the middle. I'll show you in a second. So it has this little like bump in the middle, you see? Magic. I don't know. I'm gonna do my bottom lashes too. This is incredible for lower lash mascara. Look at that. That is one layer with the primer. I also love that this is a tube, that way like you can make sure you get all the product. You can squish it onto there, extend the life of it. And this is what the lashes look like. One coat, and that's all I'm doing on them. And I guess this is the finished look. Look at me, okay. So this is the finished look. Something super out of my like comfort zone, something I'm really enjoying. I think it looks really cool. I'm really happy with what I did here. So I'm just gonna take some B-roll so I can put it at the beginning like an old school YouTube video. And thank you guys for watching. I never really know what to talk about in these videos, but leave some suggestions and I'll talk about one of those next time. I think I'm gonna be doing these floor videos. I just definitely feel way more connected to everything and to creativity. So I guess my place to be creative is on the floor, which feels weird, but never know. So thank you guys for watching. Subscribe if you want to, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye y'all.